welcome back to the Game On Financial Podcast. Joseph, we've been going for forever. By the way, this is my co-host, Joseph. I'm Garrett. Joseph, we've been going forever. Can you give us some background? Where have we been? What have we been doing?
Yeah, man, it's been quite a minute. I think the last podcast we did was, man, I guess it was probably early in the year or late last year. And I believe that was back when we were having a few guests on, Ben, Adam, some of those guys. Um, and yeah, man, it's a lot has changed. A lot has changed since the last podcast we did, and we're going to get into it here in a little bit and kind of give a general update of where we've been, what we've been doing, why we stopped podcasting and content a little bit. But yeah, man, first I'd love to just jump into how are you? How are things going? We're midsummer down here in Georgia. It's like 100,000 degrees. How are you feeling? You got a lot going on. I think you're moving here soon. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's busy. I mean, we moved once during tax season, and just getting into we're in a little townhome right now, and doing that, moving from about 30 minutes away, closer to family and stuff, and then finding a house now it's even closer to family is nice, but man, it's like just personal stuff beyond taxes and whatnot. But on that note, taxes and everything, I mean, we've been busy, dude. We've been working. Like it's been this year alone has been crazy. We had a great tax season. Um, Post tax season, we've stayed consistent. I think we've probably had more client onboardings here in June and July than we blew last year's June and July out of the water, but honestly, we probably have more onboardings than we did in some of our peak months last year. It's just we've been growing, but I guess exponentially so. And it's been great. I mean,
Yeah, I
busy
mean,
is good.
yeah, no doubt. I mean, this, I guess for those of you listening who maybe don't know us, again, Garrett said, obviously my name is Joseph as well. We have been running this thing for now. This is probably year 3. Um, but really I would say this is only the second year that things have really started to grow. And this year compared to last year, it really is exponential, not just from a client growth perspective, but from just in-house. We have a full-on team member now, Jamarian, who helps us out, and things have just changed a lot. I mean, we've gone from kind of doing Game On Financial on the side and kind of growing it as a side project to it really being our full-time thing. And yeah, this tax season, man, it was crazy. We probably grew more the year before, kind of going into year end and like January timeframe. And this year it took more into middle of tax season for us to get rolling. But so many different types of creators that we're working with now. I think Garrett in the first year or two, it was a lot of gaming creators. We had a lot of people that were in, like, let's say, Call of Duty and some of these other maybe FPS style games, maybe some streamers and stuff. And in the past year, we've branched out a lot, right? We've met more people, and those people have talked to people about us. I mean, we have a lot of more diversity, I guess you would say, in the style of creators that we work with, and then even some businesses that are in the industry that maybe aren't creators themselves, but they're doing things in the industry. So that's been really, really cool, because I think our vision for Game On when we started it wasn't just gamers or wasn't just live streamers. It was all these different subgenres of content creation. I'll let you speak a little bit to some of those, because we have some really, really cool people that we get the chance to work with. But that's been really cool as far as growth goes, just to branch out a little bit.
No, absolutely. I think the some of the Instagram influencers we've worked with, in my opinion, have some of the coolest business models because it's so much more organic there when they go to do something like sell one of their own products or something like that versus, when we have one of our content creators or a gamer trying to sell merch, it's a lot different. Usually it's branded like a t-shirt with their logo, their brand, their image, whatever on there. But with an IG influencer, it could be anything. I mean, it's probably not going to have their brand or their logo, right? It's going to be a completely separate maybe company or something like that. And I think that is awesome, in my opinion. I think the model is just so much more organic because of what a lot of our Instagram influencers content is based around. I mean, they're doing product reviews and stuff like that. So naturally, their client base, their customer base, their viewership already trust their opinion on clothing or anything like that. So there's a there even within, and we found this out, even within just if we say like Game On Financial, we focus on content creators, there are a lot of niches in that realm, right? There, I
Mhm.
mean, what type of content creator? We did have a lot of gamers early on in the beginning, and we still do, of course, but now just the the breadth with which this has just grown is crazy. I mean, and then we haven't even mentioned like the ancillary services. You know, we how many game developers do we have now that we work with that
Yeah, I
was
think we have.
unintentional. We didn't
Yeah,
even mean
yeah.
to. I mean, we
No,
got
we
what
have. I think we have four
three,
different
four?
studios right now, and then we have a couple others that are thinking about getting into that space. That through other ventures that they're thinking about opportunities there. We have people that are in the crypto world, that use that to run their businesses, but also have ventures there. And then we even have like media, more like news media outlet people that are just maybe more in the space, but from a different perspective, have kind of different goals. It's really, really cool. I mean, it's one of the things I think, Garrett, when it was your idea to start Game On, it was like you obviously had the connection through the games that you like to watch, which by happenstance were some of the first creators that we got to work with. But also, I always tell people, I give props to you on this, is that you knew how large the space is, right? There's creators that you didn't even know about that probably still need the same services. So, yeah, that's been really, really cool. I mean, and just to speak on, transition us a little bit here to, obviously we're talking about being busy and the growth that we've had. I mean, that's been kind of part of the main reason that we haven't been filming as much content. I think last year, for any of those watching that watched some of our content last year, we used last fall, which was a slower time for us to really kind of dive into content and start testing things out and uploading some videos, trying to get feedback on kind of what maybe some people that were watching were interested in. And we just kind of got to the point where we felt like it couldn't be the main focus. We grew a ton, and at the end of the day, we're accountants. So we got to get the accounting work done. That's we have clients that are paying us for services, and so Garrett, I guess I feel like me and you both probably just agreed at that point. Content had to take a back seat because we had to do some tax returns, right?
Yeah, no, we were definitely busy. I mean, like you said, early fall, late summer, early fall, we got into it, and I mean, we were so consistent, and it was great. But once we get people say tax season, I think when people think tax season is when the H&R Block commercials and all that start going out, and that's probably around February. Tax season for me, at least the past several years since I've owned my own business, has been December. I mean, like once you get into December, you're right at the tail end of planning, trying to get clients ready. January is usually busy trying to send out letters or emails or texts and say, "Hey, it's coming. We're here. It's almost tax season." And then February we're in the thick of it. It's busy. So I, it's just once you hit that period of time, it is really hard to stay consistent with doing creating content if you know you're in a line of work like we are. Um, you were gassing me up earlier. I appreciate it, but I think the probably the best decision I ever made, if you're going to give me kudos for anything, was probably like coming to you in I don't know December or January and being like, "Dude, you got to come on board with us. Like, please come," and begging you to join us because you joined us. Literally, you said what? Game On started 3 years ago. I know it was January when you started with us, and that
2021.
that was literally the year of Game On. That was like the year we started everything. And so you've obviously been vital to it, but you've been so vital that now you're a partner. You own half of it. So what's that like? Does it feel different?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, to give an update, I guess a little bit as far as with the growth and with some back end business stuff changing a bit. Technically, Garrett and I are partners now, which is exciting. I know probably last podcast we were talking, I was introducing myself as manager Joseph. So yeah, being a partner now, that's super exciting, man. Honestly, it's something that I think me and you both were working towards and wanting, and waiting on kind of the right time for that. And I think we picked a good time for it. We got through tax season this year and kind of made the transition and everything as we went into the summer this year. So it's all very fresh. But no, it feels amazing. I mean, I think um, you know we've talked about our backstory before. I'm sure some people that are listening kind of know it, of kind of working together as staff at a different firm and you leaving and then me coming to work kind of for you, and then growing Game On together on the side. I mean, this has been something that we've both um, put some blood, sweat, and tears into to kind of see it get off the ground. And obviously, we're still just getting there, but no, it feels great. I'm very very excited for our future. I mean, that was part of the reason for us to get back on and start filming again was just we wanted to be able to update everybody kind of on where we are, that we're not, that we're still here and we're still doing big things. I think it's, me and you are both pretty young, and so we're trying to figure out growing the business and managing that in between. How do we market the business? How do we put ourselves out there? I think one of our biggest things, and I'll just speak to this to help transition us a bit, is figuring out just how to grow it, because a lot of our growth that we were just speaking a bit earlier on um was pretty organic. It came from a lot of people just referring us or clients referring us work. And we're kind of getting to that point where we're cool with that. We like that. Obviously, good referrals are never going to be anything we don't want, but we're to the point where we're trying to figure out how do we get it to the next level, right? What can we market? Who can we market to? There's so many creators, so many businesses out there that could use our services that don't know who we are. And so, part of it is me and you putting our heads together, figuring out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, where can you help us grow, and where can I help us grow? And so, yeah, I mean, I think just seeing this whole process go from doing a few Game On financial clients on the side to growing, doubling that to having 10 or 15 clients and thinking like, oh, this is actually going to be something, to now where we are and having, over, 100, close to 200 clients with Game On. It's like, man, uh, this isn't just something, it's going to be something big if it continues on the trajectory it is. So, um, long-winded way to say I'm very excited for us to become partners, but also just to see Game On continue to thrive. I think there's so many people out there that could use our service, um, that we just need to get in front of, right? And probably the next thing we could talk about is just some marketing stuff, travel. That's another thing we're going to talk about a bit. We're going to COD Champs this weekend, but yeah, I'll let you kind of take it from there to just, I would say, talk a little bit about what you think our next steps are, with getting our name out there a bit more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from from the time you came on, I mean, you were so involved with everything, and plus, it was Game On in its infancy. I may have had the original idea, but none of it happens without you. I mean, it's like you were very ingrained from the beginning with getting it like actually going. So, I mean, I think it's only right that you're rewarded for that beyond over and above, just being compensated. And that's what ownership is, right? I mean, yes, we get compensated, but also there's that ownership percentage. We should both be reaping the rewards. And, you know, I don't think either one of us would be having the success we're having today without the other one. I mean, it's been a group effort since the beginning of Game On. So it only made sense. Uh you said stuff coming up. Is that what you were transitioning to there? What we
Yeah,
got
and
coming up?
just yeah, what we got
Focus on
coming
growing
up.
the business?
Yeah, as far as just, talking about more advertising, marketing stuff, and some of the conversations we've had surrounding that, I want to give, the people listening a bit of an idea of, we're talking about all this growth that has happened. What does the next 6 months look like? I mean, obviously we're halfway through 24, so just speaking a bit to what we have coming up. Um, and yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, marketing efforts are tough because I feel like we should be doing all of it. I mean, we're in a position right now where we've had success through referrals, through cold outreach. We have not really done any paid ads or anything like that. We obviously, like you mentioned before, we had the YouTube videos that we were doing previously with some shorts in there, and we got some. That's probably been the least successful, only because any leads that have been generated from that have been busts. And it makes sense when you really think about it. I mean, anytime we've done cold outreach, we were reaching out to clients or creators that we knew right away they would have some level of like need,
They were
right?
probably more in the qualified range versus
Yeah.
somebody who maybe is an unqualified lead.
Yeah, and we don't talk about it, but people we want to work with, like the prerequisite to that is somebody who can afford our services. And that sounds kind of, I guess what's the word? I don't know. Mean, but at the same time, we serve a very big purpose in what we do, and H&R Block does as well, right? So there, we're not trying to compete with H&R Block. There's a space for that. There's a reason for that. And honestly, anybody who's using H&R Block doesn't have a need for the type of services we're trying to provide. And so the outreach from YouTube just hasn't been great because none of the potential clients are qualified. On the other hand, when we do cold outreach, when we get referrals, they're already coming, the referrals are coming from people who they know this potential client needs our services. A
Has
good
a need,
example.
yeah.
Yeah, a good example would be a lawyer. It would be a financial advisor, as an agent that works in the space. That probably makes up, I don't know, Joseph. I don't know what you would at this point. I'm trying to think in my head because it's just changed so much since when we started. When we started, it was
I'd probably say it's at least 75% of the
yeah,
leads we get is from a referral source that we either work closely with or either even a client referring us somebody. And
yeah,
that's not by accident. That's something that we've worked a lot, like we've worked hard on building relationships. Some of the people we've had on here, Adam Weissman, Ben Lake, John Laster, those are some of our closest colleagues that we've met over the years that we've been able to help service some of their clients that had needs, and then same way around, we've been able to send people their way because they had needs for an attorney or they had needs for setting up businesses or financial questions that maybe we don't specialize in. So, yeah, I mean, it's not by accident, right? And that's
no,
something that in the professional services world, not in the content and gaming and streaming world, but in the professional services world, it's very common, right? You have the people that you work with and um, kind of refer out clients as needed. And we've tried to intermingle that with the people who are really in the space. We've been able to meet so many nice people, so many great people, really really smart people that I love that part of the business. Obviously I love getting to service our creators, but I also love getting to just meet new people that are trying to do what we're doing, which is help others. At the core of it, at the end of the day, we're trying to help people, and yeah, we do charge a fee for that. We're trying to run a business here, but at the same time, um, we see a need and we want to fix it and we want to help people. So, um,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, the referral sources have been huge for us, and also, we try to do the same for others, and we have plenty of creators that need an agent or need an attorney for a certain thing, or hopefully are growing a successful enough business to need financial advisor type services, and so we're funneling them back to those same people who hopefully are referring us clients.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's where pretty much all of our, I would say, well, you said 75%. That's probably a pretty good estimate. We still get cold outreach is still good because at this point we do have enough of a brand for when we reach out, people are like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And we've had clients who have talked to other clients and they say oftentimes like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about you guys. So and so told me to come talk to you guys. I just haven't, I tell everybody all the time, like we do taxes, and so there's nothing sexy about it. It's so easy for somebody to say like, okay, yeah, I will go talk to him, and then like, oh God, taxes, I don't want to, and
Right.
then they associate that with us, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, there's just a need there, and I love what we do because those creators that we want to work with, literally a Twitter DM away, right? I mean, I've been DMing people like crazy and getting great results from it. I think it goes to show like if you want to run a business truly from like the ground up, if you provide a service that people need, you can do it easily, like just Twitter DMing people. You don't have to make it out to be something more than what it is. You don't have to go and, oh, I got to do these paid ads and this and that. Maybe if we want to scale at some level, yeah, we'll have to go down that route. We haven't yet, but one day that may be something we have to do. Right now, literally just reaching out to people, cold DMing them and saying like, "Hey, here's what we do. If you need our service, let us know. We'd love to help you." And then also reaching out to those referrals. And I think that's one thing I don't know if you really considered it before getting into business, but it's one thing I've learned is like taking care of those referral sources. Like people, you mentioned being on financial advisors, lawyers, agents, reaching out. Hey, is there anything we can do to help? Is there anything we'd love? I mean, getting on a call just to talk to some of their clients. Like we'll do it for free. We'll get on the call and talk to them. Like if they need to know, like, hey, what should I do here? Do I need an accountant? Do I need? I think they find that invaluable because nobody's trying to do really what we're doing, in my opinion. I mean, we have a few people out there, a few other accountants in the space, but even then, I think they're really booked up and they're not actively trying to seek out new work. So when we reach out and say like, "Hey, look, we'll get on a call with them and talk. We'll get on a call with your clients. We'll take care of them." You know that, right? That we've worked with some of these people long enough. We're like, "Hey, we'll get on a call with them. If we can't help them, we'll let them know, and we'll just that's
Yeah.
it. We don't have to make the sale. We don't have to do this. We don't have to charge them anything. Like, we'll just have a conversation." And
And I
I
think
think
too that the whole point you were talking about as far as, maybe doing some content and it not panning out and getting the same amount of leads. I think part of the reason that we're wanting to do, podcasts like this, but also just continue doing more content and getting it out there, even if it is things like Twitter and just staying active on social media, it's so that when we do talk to those people like you're talking about, and we do just hop on a call with a referral source or the referral source's client or whoever, that they have some kind of portfolio to go check us out, right? I mean, if you were to go look us up right now, it may not look like much, um, but I think that's the whole point is that we're trying to build out a portfolio through the YouTube channel, through Twitter, to where we have a brand and we have a platform there that people can go find and see, even if maybe somebody's not watching our video and immediately hitting us up for services. We just want to be out there, right? I want people to be able to know our name and know who we are, and just be discoverable, right? Be able
yeah.
to find us,
Let me ask you this, not to change the topic, but it's something honestly I've just been thinking about. Um, Are you, like, addicted to the ownership piece yet? Because I'll tell you, you and I, you mentioned it earlier, we worked at another like, we've worked at previous accounting firms, we've, been at I'm gonna say corporate, I mean, we sat in a cubicle, like, we've been there, like, we know kinda how that office life works and stuff like that, and we were talking about a firm that had 130, 150 employees, so, you had the culture of just office life, right?
hmm
And now what we do is so incredibly different. But is it different because we're working from home and we have all these nice, like, I'm going to say features of just our job?
perks.
Or is it because, like, from an ownership perspective, you just now you literally see the growth. You see the vision, you see like we're a small company. And when I say small, I mean there's literally the three of us, me, you, and Jamarian, and we're all on the same page. Like we know exactly like here's where we're trying to get, right? The only thing I would say is maybe Jamarian doesn't know all of the detail, but and he could speak to this better than I could, but he knows like we're trying to get after it. Here's where we're trying to go. Like here's who we service. I don't think there's any question about any of that.
Mm.
And to me, I'm like, it just I don't wake up and ever feel like I did when I was sitting in a cubicle. Because man, there were days there I was like, God, dude, I
Yeah.
do not want to go into work. And honestly, it wasn't even during tax season. That was when I was busy and I was like, I wasn't even thinking about going. I was just like, I got stuff to do.
Right.
But during the summer and it got slow, I'm like, man, I just want to go outside. I just want to do something. I want to be like, doing something other than what I'm doing right now. But now I don't feel that way. Every time I get up, I'm like, every single day I have an opportunity to grow game on financial. And I do take breaks. I try and take vacation, keep myself refreshed and all. But still, I'm addicted to it now, and I don't know if you feel the same or if you haven't hit that I don't know that it's like almost like a runner's high yet. Like you just get so caught up in it that I don't know, feels good.
No, yeah, I can definitely speak to this. I mean, I think, and I don't know if people listening think will find this interesting or just find it or not, but I will tell you this. Part of the reason that we're cranking the content back up and needing to do it is because it's easy for Garrett and I to get lost and not do it because we're so focused on like we said, growing the business, right? We're so focused on like doing the work, getting new sales. What events can we go to try to meet new people? We're in the weeds a lot, and it's partly because we're learning. We're learning how to run a business. We don't know everything. We're constantly, sharing ideas with each other. Garrett and I talk a lot. We get on calls sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, and we're talking about vision and all these things that he's kind of talking about right now. And it's because we're just excited. And so I definitely share that sentiment with you, Garrett. I think that, um, sometimes we do have to take a step back and say, like, "No, we need to be doing this instead because we're getting ahead of ourselves," or maybe that's our vision, but we're not quite there yet, or what, and trying to figure those things out. I'll tell you this. Um, I don't know if addicted is the right word or not. I mean, I think that's a, that's a loose term, but I will say this: I knew from a very, I would say, very young age that I wanted to have my own business one day. And I think I've told you this before, but I mean, both my parents had their own businesses. My dad ran a business for about 30 years that my mom worked at. And then once he shut that down, my mom started her own business for a few years. And it was something I grew up around, the entrepreneurial mindset of owning something, being able to, as you mentioned before, reap the reward of kind of what you of your hard work. Um, that's been something that I've wanted for a long time, and I never knew exactly what business I would pick or what opportunity would be presented. And I was okay with that. I was okay with kind of going with the flow, and it seemingly worked out so far. We'll see what we can do together, um, but yeah, I love it, man. I think it's so cool to be able to sit down every day and feel the reward of what you put in. I think that's what life's all about, is being able to work hard and then be rewarded for that. I believe very strongly in that. And so when you're an owner of something, that's exactly what it is, right? If the business fails, it's on me and you. And I like that risk. I like that responsibility being on my shoulders. And I think, to what you said, when you're a staff somewhere and you're working in a cubicle, that weight isn't on your shoulders, right? You just come in, it's a paycheck, you come in, you leave every day. You don't feel responsible for the success or the failure of the business. And sometimes that doesn't feel great, right? You're like, well, is it even worth me being here, or am I even valued? Versus when you're running your own business, you definitely feel that, I think. And sometimes that comes with stress. And sometimes it comes with extreme excitement and happiness. Um, but yeah, it's awesome, and I think me and you both feel very strongly about that. We share that sentiment for sure.
Yeah, even if it's not from owning, I think just from, like, again, us having a small, tight team, right? And knowing, like, this is where we're all going. There should be no confusion about what we're doing, who we're serving, all that. And that, again,
Right.
I think the best indicator is going to be to ask, whoever's at the staff level, right? So, like, asking Jamarian, like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's the vision here? Because if he doesn't know, then we've done a bad job of communicating that, right? But I don't think that's in question. I think Jamari knows exactly what we're doing. We all keep everybody up to date. And going back to, you mentioned, I think you mentioned lunch or something like that. Joseph and I will eat lunch in like 20 minutes, and we'll spend the next 40 minutes talking, like, what are we gonna do? Where are we going? All that stuff, like vision and all that stuff. So I love it. I mean, I honestly, when we fly to Champs, I have no doubt on the plane we'll be talking about a lot of this stuff as well. And um, it's
Oh
just,
yeah.
yeah, maybe addicted's not the right term, but for me, that's it. Just feels like, so much of my life revolves around it. And when you come to grips with that and accept it, it's how we provide a living for our families and all this. So I've embraced it. I enjoy it. I love what I get to do, talking with the creators we get to talk with, the fact that we're going to Champs here shortly, and we can pivot to that in a second. But
Mhm.
the fact that we're going to Champs for work legitimately, and not saying like, oh yeah, we're going to Vegas just for work. We're going to Dallas just for work. Like, we're no, this is like legitimate work trip. We're um,
But it
eager to
also
see
be
and talk,
super fun.
but it'll be fun too. Yeah, exactly. So, um, yeah, why don't we talk about that? What do you want to, what details do you want to discuss? We fly out Friday.
Yeah, no, we can jump into the whole travel conversation in general just to kind of give people updates on where we're going to be and what we're doing. But I mean, yeah, I mean this next coming weekend, I don't know exactly when this podcast is going to be released, but this weekend, which I believe is the 20th, 19th, 20th, 21st, is CDL Champs Call of Duty Championship in Dallas. It's actually in Allen, Texas, but it's right out of Dallas. We will be there. Um, Friday through Sunday. I think the event's actually Thursday through Sunday. We'll be there Friday through Sunday, which is super exciting. As we kind of mentioned at the beginning, we have quite a few Call of Duty creators. That's kind of the first game creator that we started with, was in Call of Duty. We still have quite a few of those. So that's been a huge blossoming, I guess you would call it a industry, but it's a sub industry, obviously, of the content world and the gaming world. it's been great for us. We've met so many good people in that scene. There is so many good people in that scene that we haven't met yet. And so we had wanted to go to potentially a couple of events this year. A few of them got moved or canceled. And so, yeah, we're making it to Champs this weekend, which I'm excited about. And I think, Garrett, we're trying to make travel a very important and core piece of what we do. And it's because, as you said earlier, we are working at home. We are fully remote. I'm at my house right now. You're at your house right now. Jamarian is at his house right now, halfway across the country. And so it's a great place and opportunity for us to link up with people and actually see people in person. Me and you are both people. I definitely am, like that. I like talking to people, meeting new people. So I think that provides a great opportunity to do so. We went to TwitchCon last year, which was great. Got to see some of our clients, got to meet some new people. I think COD Champs will be that as well. And then we have a few other events that I think we want to try to go to this year that we've either heard about through the grapevine or we know people that will be at. I'll let you speak a little bit to some of those other ones, and then yeah, we'll be putting out probably through Twitter and other places, kind of where we'll be at trying to link up with people. But yeah, speak Garrett, speak to some of the other events you think will maybe make it to this year.
Yeah, I mean, I went to DreamHack this past year and really enjoyed it. I think I'll probably try and go back to that again.
DreamHack
Assume
Atlanta.
DreamHack Atlanta, yeah. And then GCX, which is in Orlando. I think GCX will be a great event for us just because a lot of the creators we service, one, a lot of the creators we service will be there, but two, um, it's kind of it's kind of different now, and I don't think now we branch out enough. Like I think you mentioned Call of Duty, and we'll be at Champs and all that, but within that market, we have a presence now, and I think we've kinda gotta get to a new market, and the thing is like, there are other games. GCX really grassroots started from Destiny. It was called
Hmm.
Guardian Con, and a lot of the guys who run it, I'm gonna say we work around them, so we work with a lot of people who work with them, and I think that would be a great event for us. I mean, that one's an easy one to get to because it's in Orlando, Florida, and we're based in Savannah, so quick 4 or 5 hour drive there. Same as DreamHack Atlanta. A lot of these events, man, I've met so many people that DreamHack Atlanta this past year. I met so many people that I just wouldn't have otherwise met, and it was so much fun, and I definitely look forward to it. I think other events. Did you mention TwitchCon? We'll probably go to
I did not.
TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably go to TwitchCon in San Diego, which I'm looking forward to just because San Diego is, um, it's as a city is beautiful right there on the beach and everything right there on the coast. But also, I've heard that the venue for TwitchCon is just better. So
Yeah.
we won't have to walk 10 miles just to meet up with somebody like we did in Vegas this past year. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think what other events we got. DreamHack Atlanta, GCX, TwitchCon. Do you have any off the top of your head that I'm missing?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think for this year, that's probably going to be it for us, which would be a lot if we make it to all of those. That
Yeah.
would be a lot for us, just because last year the only one we went to was TwitchCon. So branching out to go to four, like you said, kind of four or five more, well, is shows growth for us, and also just building out that travel budget for us. Right, we are just getting it going. So I think making sure that it makes sense for us to go to certain ones. I know probably what will end up happening is you'll be at some that I won't be at, and vice versa, as we kind of grow that thing and make it the ability to kind of continue running the firm and making sure everything's good on the back end while we can also go out and talk to people and travel. I think we both want to do that, which is exciting. But again, got to do some tax returns every now and then. No, I think the travel is going to be a core piece of Game On Financial. I really do. I think there's so many events out there nowadays, which is awesome. There's so many conferences. There's even some summits, that are based around educational content and educational speaking events and things like that. I honestly, I hope that one day we will be able to be on some of those panels and share kind of what we do with people. I think that shows kind of the future of some of the things we'll be able to do, is just sharing with creators like, hey, this is what we do. If you ever need it. We've even talked about cool things of being able to share some of our content, or building out pieces of content, educational pieces to share with creators that maybe can't afford service or want to kind of push that on to other creators that they know that could use it. So yeah, I think travel is just dipping our toe into the world that is meeting others, getting out there, getting our name out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you combine all those efforts, and that kind of comes back to marketing, but when you combine that with literally cold outreach, with referrals, I think Game On will continue to grow. We've grown at a great clip this year. You and I will always be seeking more, only because, like you said, we're young. I mean, we have nothing else to do, right, other than grow it and just try and make it you know, maximize it to its full potential. And I'm that excites me. I think traveling for work, I think reaching out, cold DMing work, getting to talk to some people that otherwise we wouldn't have had the luxury to talk to and get to work with is incredible. That alone excites me every day, because you never know when the next big creator that you've been watching for years that you've been a fan of will reach out and say like, "Hey, I need help with taxes. Can you do that?" And that to me is the greatest luxury of all, the fact that we get to do that. So,
I think it's really
um,
cool too, Garrett, when you're able to meet people in person because this industry is full of people who sit at home every day and hop on their PC just like we're on ours right now, and that's their work, right? And if they stream all day, or if they create YouTube videos, or even other types of content, it can be a very reclusive lifestyle. And so I think getting out there and meeting people in person, shaking hands, saying hello, just putting a face with a name, so to speak, that's huge. Not just huge for growing a business, but it's just huge for kind of showing excuse me, showing some of these creators like we are real people. We behind the YouTube video or behind the tweet, we are real people. We are interested in what you're doing. We're interested in scene, and we're really in it. That was one of the things, Garrett, when we first started this was like we're in the scene, but we're almost lurking in the scene, right? We're in Twitch chats and we're watching YouTube and we're gaming, but no one knows who we are, right? We're in it, but we're not really in it, and we wanted to start to really be more active in it. And I think that's just the travel talk that we're having now is actually getting to that stage where we can say, no, we are at these events, right? And we want to meet you if we're there. And that's the coolest part to me. It's just putting a face with the name, meeting some of our favorite creators, and just yeah, linking up with people that we care about and we want to hopefully help.
yeah, 100%, 100%. Um, well, yeah. What else we got, bro? I mean, we talked travel. We talked about the beginnings. We talked about you coming on as a partner, which I think is probably the most exciting thing.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I mean, I think next is mainly just again talking about kind of what's upcoming. We've talked about travel. We talked about trying to grow some marketing stuff. Hopefully, I'll say this. Hopefully, the content you guys will see the content start to increase. We're gonna use this as our kickoff of going back into content, and we're gonna try to use it to keep ourselves accountable to be putting some content out there for you guys. What I would really love is for us to start, putting some more shorter form stuff on our YouTube, for educational stuff, for tips and stuff. We have so many people asking us questions, maybe current clients, maybe clients that would hop on a discovery call that maybe we can't service at the time, but that could really just have a YouTube video there that would answer all those questions that they asked us. So I think that's going to be a place that we try to grow going forward, just putting out really high quality stuff that can be sent around and shared, and just helping people. So that's upcoming, hopefully. Travel's upcoming, and then yeah, man. I mean, I think Aaron will be here before we know it. We just got wrapped up talking a little bit about like internal business stuff. We just got wrapped up with Q2 planning. I think we have a few more planning calls, but we're doing tax planning for people right now for quarter 2. We'll have kind of 2 more quarters to do that for them in Q3 in the fall, and then Q4 right at year end. Um, just big stuff happening, man. We have a lot of people starting new businesses, new creators coming on. It's very exciting. I think what the next 6 months holds, and I'm really excited for just rolling right into 25 already, which is crazy. It's wild that it's already July.
yeah, we're halfway through the year. It doesn't even feel like it, man. It's been so fast so far, and we're already 16 days into July, which is crazy. I mean, we'll be like you said, it'll be the fall before we know it. Football season, cold air. God, please, the cold air would be nice because, dude, it is
every
scorching
day,
outside.
every day we're supposed to be in Dallas this weekend is going to be like 100 degrees or more.
Dude, I got on a call actually yesterday with a client, and he was asking, how's everything going, this and that, and I was telling him, and I said, what about you? He said, well, it's really hot right now, this and that outside, and he was like, and you got to remember, I'm in New York. I was like, oh, he was like, What'd he say? No, 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 no. I'm sorry. He was in Nevada. He was in Nevada. He's in Vegas, and he said, "I hate the dry. I hate how it's just like arid. Like it's hot, but it's arid. And I want to get back to the coast because the humidity. I'm like, well, I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. It is 100% humidity. It's 100 degrees outside. So,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know if that's what you want. And he was like, oh man, this is
Yeah.
that. But I was like, yeah, dude, it's hot.
Oh
It
yeah.
is hot outside. The past couple, probably the past week or two, have been like some of the hottest days I've probably ever experienced, which is crazy. But
No, I'm
um,
definitely excited for the fall. I think that's mine and
yeah.
yours both just personal favorite times a year. But also, busy time for business stuff as well, which we're really excited about. Um, no, I mean I think that kind of probably puts a cap on everything we wanted to discuss. I mean, the main thing is we're excited to be back. I think probably honestly by the next time we do a podcast, you'll be in a different house. You're moving, probably a different setup there. So we're trying to dial in the setups. We're trying to get everything um, get all our ducks in a row, but things are constantly changing, which is very, very exciting. So yeah, we just
Yep.
wanted to hop back on here today and relink with everybody who's trying to keep up with us and continue to grow.
That's right. Absolutely. If you've enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, follow us on socials, man. That's the best way to get in contact with us. If you ever have
Definitely.
questions, I would say shoot one of us a DM. We're both on Twitter.
Mhm.
We both are on Instagram. We don't use those as much, but if you reach out, I do check messages, all that stuff. So please, even if it's just to hop on a free discovery call, anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to talk with you and see if we can help.
Yep. If you've made it this far and you just heard Garrett say that, we really appreciate the support because we have been AFK. But no, we're excited to be back. And yeah, like Garrett said, you know where to find us. We will see you guys on the next one.
Peace.